everyone, I'm McDowell here with another YouTube video. And today I'm going to be showing you the 4 basic ways of blocks. Now the second way, there's 2 ways of not getting hit. One with movement was what I showed you last time. And the second one is blocking. Now of course, when it comes to a real life fight, you're not going to have time of blocking. But if you practice them, there's always a good chance you might actually catch one and then be able to counter with it. That's why we teach about defensive and offensive move. And blocking by any other technique is not a deadly thing to worry about because it's meant for defending. Any techniques besides blocking can be lethal and can get someone really hurt and injured. But blocks, not so much. Blocks are mostly for deflecting and also parrying different attacks. And today I'm going to show you the 4 basic blocks. Okay. Alright. In many different styles, even in certain basic blocks, it can be actually attacked. So, I'm going to start out from here. I'm on horse stance. Now of course, when you start out, they're all static. But the thing is, as soon as you get more comfortable with the blocks, that's when you can put in your movements. So right now, I'm just going to show you by standing still. Excuse me. So the first one is the high block. Now the thing is, if you ever notice about certain way how they shoot the blocks up, is right above the head. Try to keep it nice and strong. That's so when someone comes like with a knife or with a stick, that's pretty short and very fragile, it comes down on top of the forearm. So remember, when you're blocking, your forearm is up, not your wrist or anything like that you see from the posters, where you see a guy in the poster, he's going like this, with all his wrists, with this part of it showing, with all his veins and all his wrists and his forearm showing. That's a no-no. Because the thing is, everything down here is all veins. You get cut with a knife or a beer bottle or anything like that, you can bleed out to death. The top part is basically like armor. You get hit, it might be just break with a solid bat, but if you get it at a right angle, it'll deflect and you'll barely get stretched. But like I said, the top part is what's important. This is weak, strong. So remember, forearm, strong. Like I said, high block, straight up, right above the head, protecting the head. And you mostly see when boxers, when they go like this, you can always see how they get the idea about how to deflect the punches when it comes to straight to the head, especially down punches like that. So always keep your defense up, but try to keep at least one hand steady as you're deflecting or blocking, and keep your chin down. So that's high block. Okay. And the best way if you're teaching it to kids is think of like a house. House is basically at an angle with a roof at an angle. So when you just say make a house, you drop one hand down, make a fist, you got yourself the high block. So that's just a clip note if you ever want to teach the kids. Second block is the inside block. I'm coming over here, I'm coming from my forehead and swinging in and all the way through. Keeping my head facing you. All the way through. All the way through. So remember, when I said about the forearm, always keep it strong. I'm basically keeping all my good stuff, all my veins protected and go with the forearm. But when you get in the movement, the whole thing works almost like a battery ram. So, that's inside block. And if you're trying to teach it to kids, tell them to just say, make a bird, because how does a bird flap its wings? It flaps from the inside. Almost like they're almost clapping, except all the way through. Alright? Okay, next block is to the outside block. So you got the inside, and you got the outside. Now mostly, when you see the outside block, it's usually like right here. But that's a good way to go. If you block it out like here, it's very easy for your hand to get pushed and then get yourself knocked out. But if it's here, all it's just pointing towards you, not pulling against you like that. So whenever you try to practice, always practice your block going outside. Going outside with the forearm facing outside, but still, the forearm is what's protecting in the outside here. Alright? And if you're teaching this to kids, and I know it's kind of might be a little bit far-fetched, just tell them like they're pulling out a knife or pulling out a sword. Now, like it's nice and round table. They always pull out their sword like that. So pull out your sword. Like I said, all this will come to play when you put movement in. Since we already did movement, the movement I'm going to do another video where all the movements and blocks come in and play at the same time. So, outside block, inside block, inside block. Outside block. Alright. Now the last one is the downward block. Basically you're coming from the face and drop it down right in front of you. Not away, drop it down in front of you. So it's basically almost like this. Because a lot of people like to go like this, and you're open. Sure, it's good. Those are basically waving blocks, but it's also good for hammer fist because you're going like this to the back of the groin. But this is not hammer fist block, this is downward block. So therefore, you're coming down straight in front of you, not away. And remember, it's the forearm that's catching it right here, nice and strong. Alright? Now, if you're teaching the kids, just think of it a bit like them. On Halloween night, they want to take off the mask, they take off the mask. They don't throw it away, they take it off and then put it back on. So, okay, basically, if we do drills, kind of be like this. Take off mask, then it goes into the outside block. So there's a little bit of blocking combination for you. Just with two blocks in a zone. So whenever you practice with kids, be sure you go at a slow pace, because it's best to practice something real slow than screw it up real fast and get yourself hurt. So whenever you practice techniques, always start out slow, always start out low. The reason for this, because not everyone is going to be a super ninja or a superhero or like that. It takes time to try to build the speed, the endurance, the muscle memory, everything. It takes time. So always take your time when learning any techniques. That's a backwards punch. So those are the 4 basic blocks. And like I said, boxers got a great defense. They know exactly how to use their whole momentum to actually block it. They probably got more defense than any other martial arts style because they're always covering up. So boxers, you have my respect. Thank you for having good defense. So, that is the 4 basic blocks in Taekwondo Karate. So probably next time when we meet, I'll try to introduce the punch and the evolution of the punch. And I want to put a disclaimer here that be aware of the kids. Do not try this at home without adult supervision or with a certified instructor like me in your disposal. And parents, be sure that you monitor what your kids are watching these days. So for that all being said, I'll probably show you the punch next time and the evolution of the punch. This is Albert McDowell, signing off.